Hello, my friends. I'm Rachel Archelaus, extrasensory being, psychic, clairvoyant, clairaudient, all the things, psychic medium. And I wanted to share with you how I deal with it and what I do when a friend dies. So it's not the happiest of subjects, and if I'm actually talking strange or looking funny, it's because I'm recovering from wisdom tooth surgery. So I'm still a little bit sore. But unfortunately, right before I went in for surgery, I was actually meditating on my couch to calm myself down because I was very nervous. And I got an email that my really good friend had passed away pretty unexpectedly. She was in the hospital with pneumonia for a few days, but I don't think any of us expected that she was going to die. And that shock really tore through me. And I guess in the moment, it made me a lot less nervous for the surgery just because I was so upset about her not being around. And this is probably the closest friend that's ever passed on in my life. You know, we have a writing group together. She's an editor for my books. She's taught intuitive art classes for me. She has a whole playlist on our intuitive art YouTube channel of ASL videos because she was a translator for American Sign Language. She's in our free class right in the corner, like translating everything into ASL. We were confidants. We would trade coaching and readings, and just overall, I've known her for 8 years now, and we've been really close. She's so amazing. I'm really lucky that I told her she was amazing all the time, so I don't feel like I left anything unsaid. We had just spoken a few days earlier, but nevertheless, it was really, really sad. And the only reason I have it together right now is because I'm kind of in video mode. But it's been a very hard journey, and it's only been like 5 days. So, what do I do? As a psychic, I know that she's fine, right? I've talked to hundreds of deceased people in my time. I used to do this professionally, and I know when people die, they go to an amazing place. They become non-physical. They lose all sense of lack or hurt or any kind of negative emotion. It all goes away. They only see things from the positive. They are reconnected to love and bliss and joy, and that is a blessing in and of itself. And I know for her specifically, she lost her husband about a year earlier, and she was not prepared for that emotionally because it again was a little bit sudden. She was really doing her best to move on and make her life her own, but she was really, really hurting. So I know that they are reunited, and that is a wonderful thing. So intellectually, as a psychic medium, I know she's fine. I know she's better. I know that she's now enjoying all the things that she wants. She's realizing her vortex, if you speak Abraham. But as a person who saw her and spoke to her in this plane, it's definitely a loss for me. So when we're talking about grieving, it's really the selfish part of us that comes out. That's the part of us that doesn't want things to change, that's upset. And I'm okay with that. There's nothing wrong with that. That's really normal. And so I have been crying a lot. I've been reaching out to friends and family a lot. I've been kind of depressed and moping around a little bit. And just overall letting myself have my feelings. I did make an Instagram post a few days after just to kind of process my own feelings about it and like make a public statement and let those people close to me on social media know that something had happened, and here's, that I love my friend, here's what happened. And then just yesterday, I made a more public post in my business because, of course, she was so helpful there. People knew her. And the only reason I waited to do that is because I was kind of waiting on hearing from the family what their wishes were or what the arrangements would be. And they haven't done that yet. So I figured, let me just tell everybody and give them a space to share their stories and memories and to grieve her in the way that they wanted to. So I'm doing all the human things, basically. I'm crying, I'm sharing, I'm communicating, and that brings us to today. So have I reached out psychically yet? Yes. Pretty much right away, I started looking for her, which means kind of like scanning around for her energy, using the intention that I would like to connect with her as a way to connect with her energy. It's really hard to describe. It does feel like a process. It feels like something I'm doing deliberately, but there's no action step. You know what I mean? It's kind of just like learning to receive the signal back. And at first, which is really common when people die, I couldn't really get a sense of her. Now, whether that was because I was too sad to connect with her or because like she wasn't ready yet to connect, I don't really know. But I do know it is pretty common for it to take a few days to be able to connect, but not in all cases. And then a few days later, I did get a nice connection with her. I heard her voice in my head. I heard her laugh. I heard that she was fine. You know, like it was almost as if we were on the telephone together. The clarity of her really came through. And that, of course, made me feel better, even though I knew she was fine. But just hearing her, connecting with her feels really good. I'm going to link to a video here of 5 different ways, I believe, to connect with people who've passed on. So if you want to get in touch with anyone that you've lost, you can do that in a few different ways. So I haven't really had full conversations with her yet. I've really just kind of checked in, and I keep checking in. I keep sending that signal out and getting one back, and just kind of like, it's like we're smiling, but we're not stopping to talk. You know what I mean? And that's okay with me right now. I'm really satisfied with that. There is something on my to-do list today that brings me right back to her, and that is review some edits that she suggested in a book that I'm about done with. So all of it's edited. She really didn't edit it. She proofread it for me. But now I have to go back into that document and look at her edits. And so it's just kind of like a reminder, like I can't email this back to her, which kind of sucks, but you know, life, it is what it is. And I'm like not really wanting to do that right now. So as much as I want to do this I'm not really sure if I'm going to get in there, but if I do, I'll share it with you and we'll see how it goes. So as a medium, I'm balancing my intellectual and like experiential knowledge of the fact that everything's okay with the fact that as a friend, I'm very sad that my friend is gone. And still having her woven into my life like this is very interesting. I've not really had this experience before. So like reviewing these edits in the book is bringing up a lot of stuff. And some other things that I had in my 30 days challenge. If you've been following along, you'll know what I'm talking about. A lot of this had to do with her. Like we had just formed a prose writing group and she was going to help me with my psychic life book. And that is, you know, a couple things on this. In fact, she's kind of all over what is left. So yeah, it's really unfortunate. And again, this like feels so selfish to me because it's like, well, she was going to help me with my life and she's not here anymore. And so like, what does that say about me? But at the same time, I realize like, this is just a really normal part of grieving. It's okay to miss people. It's okay to have that selfish desire for them to be around. And you know, it's just going to heal over time and I just have to be gentle with myself. So what an incredible woman, super amazing, super intelligent, super creative, all the things, really going to miss her. And I'll pop you in here and there if we go and do things that will trigger anything for me. So one idea I had was to do an intuitive art drawing just to like check in with her so that I could post it on our social media. So I was thinking like how are you? Or do you have a message for us? Or anything you want us to know? Maybe that's a good one. Is there anything you want us to know? So I'm going to do that now. And as I'm writing this, I can already feel her energy. Like the connection is being made. It feels really cool. I love that feeling of connection. It's like when you have these skills, like you can, and yeah, I call them skills because I think everyone is capable of being psychic. We're all born with the same, energy templates. We are all light beings. But it's so wonderful to be able to connect with someone and feel their energy and like know that they're there with you. It's just so helpful. So I'm getting that now. Is there anything you'd like us to know? I'm going to have my eyes closed just because, and like when I'm drawing, like these aren't my normal gestures. Ooh, wow. Okay, so this is so her. And she's like jumping off the page. So I'm going to sit with this for a minute, but I'll let you know what I come to. Hello, my friends. I drew a message from Dina. She's recently passed. She was a certified intuitive artist, close personal friend, a big contributor to the community. And I just asked her, is there anything you want us to know? So I'm just sharing this message with you here. So the first thing that is popping out to me is this teal heart here. She is saying that she's feeling absolute oneness. Like she's feeling the love of the universe. Like it is her now. She's feeling how connected we are to that, how it's all of us connected to the non-physical, connected to her. Like everything is aligning for her right now, which is really amazing. Like I'm feeling part of that. I'm feeling like, yes, like everything's woven together. We're all the same energy. We're all the same substance. We're all the same love. And it feels incredible. So I'm very happy that she's feeling that and sharing that with us. And then this black here, which is usually my boundaries and focus color, she's saying it's more about clarity. Like she's feeling razor sharp clarity. Like she knows everything now. Like everything makes sense. Everything is clear. She was already really clear and really sharp, but this is like to the billionth degree that is true for her. So that's incredible. And she's looking back on her life and just like recognizing all the places where she may have taken things too seriously or too personally, and just kind of like sharing with us that we can just focus on ourselves, focus on our own path, focus on our own happiness, and like things will really work out. Like we don't need to get sidetracked. We can be clear on who we are and what we want. And that's what she's doing right now. And then this brown, at first I was like, brown, grounding? Like, I don't think about that when I think about people who are non-physical. I don't think about grounding. But she's giving us a message here, which makes sense. She's saying, do our life. Like, do life. Do all the things you want to do. Don't hold yourself back. Don't worry about other people's opinions of you. Do what you want to do. Dina and I had so many conversations about being multi-passionate and like having so much on your want list and wish list and like which things to focus on. And it was just always like a new passion for her. And she was really good at everything. So it was like valid, that she would pursue everything. So we talked about that a lot. And her final stance is do it all. Do all that you can. Do all that you love. And what a great life that is, right? Like, do life, do it your way, is what she's saying. And you know what? In the end, and is possible now, we are all aligned. We're all love. We're all the universe. This is my alignment color. with a little bit of creativity thrown in. It's a beautiful message. I can feel her energy. I'm really, really happy about that. And feel free to contact her yourself because she's available. All right. Love, love, love to you all. So it's 9 p.m. I have put off going into that document all day, but I think it's time. I'm gonna head in there and just review the remaining edits. It's not gonna be a big deal. I will actually, I think right now I'm like wanting to be more in her energy, so I think it'll be nice and comforting. That intuitive art drawing was really, really, really helpful, and just like really cementing in that her energy is still here. It didn't go away. In fact, I can feel it even more because like it's here in my room and not just where she used to live. Okay, so she just made the edits right in the document instead of making comments, which actually means I don't really need to like see her name. You know, it doesn't say like from Dina, right? So it's a little bit better. Okay, so not so bad. I was afraid for nothing. And really that's like the point of so much of this. Like, why did I put it off? Because I was avoiding pain. But when I get in there, there's no pain. So was it worth it to anticipate the pain? You know, like I'm all for feeling your feelings. There's no bad feeling. In fact, that's something like Dina was really, really into for a long time because she was feeling so heartbroken after her husband died. I just gotta remember that. There's no bad feeling, so why try to avoid pain? Why try to avoid anything? Just go for it, head right into it, and live your best life. So I'm gonna take that to heart. I'm gonna keep going. And I hope this was interesting to you. If there's anything else you want to know about what it's like being a medium, being extrasensory, just let me know, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.